The problem of bullying, it's been made worse by social media. The National Heritage Board and Singapore's Children's Society want to increase awareness of the problem, and they've put together an interactive exhibition called Scribble Town. The issue of bullying will be brought to light through illustrated characters. Visitors will also learn how their words and actions can have an impact on others, as well as how to deal with bullying. The exhibition is on at the Sun Yat-sen Nanyang Memorial Hall until January, before making its way to different venues around Singapore. For a closer look, we're joined now by Ann Hui Peng. She's Group Lead for Children's Development at Singapore's Children's Society. Good evening, Hui Peng. Thanks for joining us. Can you tell us more about this exhibition and what went into the curatorial process?
Well, I think National Heritage Board really wanted to bring a current issue into the museums, and they went around talking to community partners, and they started talking to Singapore Children's Society. And of course, we are very happy to partner them because at our end, we've been talking about promoting for a bully-free environment for children since 2004. So we started a lot of discussions on what we want to go in and to really bring out the different sides and the depth of the bullying issue and to present it back to the children. And we really wanted this exhibition to actually encourage a lot more discussions, conversations, to bring awareness on the issue and what to do next and how to restore relationships after that.
And Hui Peng, help us out with the context for this then. How big a problem is bullying here in Singapore?
Okay. For Singapore Children's Society and Institute of Mental Health did conduct a study in 2014 to examine the impact of cyber environments on adolescents in Singapore. And from that study, we looked into not just cyberbullying, we also looked into traditional bullying, which includes physical bullying, relational bullying, and verbal bullying. We do know that from the 3,300 participants, about 72.5% of the youth did say that they did not experience any bullying, which is actually a very positive sign. But 15% of them did say that they did encounter traditional bullying, and 3.8% of them did experience cyberbullying, and about another 8.3% of the participants shared that they experienced both traditional and cyberbullying. In other words, we are looking at probably about 1 in 4 youth experiencing traditional bullying, or 1 in 9 youth have experienced cyberbullying.
So to that point of the 1.9% having experienced cyberbullying...
One in 9.
1 in 9 experiencing...
1 in 9.
1 in
yes.
9, yes. 1 in 9 experiencing cyberbullying. How widespread, though, is this issue of online bullying? I mean, how far are children being exposed to it?
I guess it's not as bad as we probably think it will be, because most people will have thought that perhaps cyberbullying is something that's more widespread and happening a lot more. But the study actually revealed to us that actually traditional bullying is still the predominant kind of bullying that's taking place in Singapore. But what's very important to note is that for cyberbullying, it usually doesn't happen in isolation. It usually occurs together with some form of traditional bullying. So if your child happens to be someone who told you that, hey, daddy, mommy, I have been cyberbullied in this environment, it's good to check in with your child on what's happening in his or her life as well, because the likelihood is that your child is also being bullied in the physical environment, in he or she is in the school or the educational centers, etc., where they are in.
Well, constant changes in technology can make it difficult for teachers and parents to even detect or define and appropriately address cyberbullying incidents. What are some of the signs we should be looking out for?
I think it's important to let parents know that in terms of the cyberspace, about 62% of the cyber victims report that they were cyberbullied on social networking sites. And this is quite important for parents to know. If this is the area where your child might be vulnerable to, it's good to check in with them on what they're doing on their WhatsApp, their Twitter accounts, etc. Also, girls are also found to likely to be cyberbullying girls are more likely to be cyberbullied on the social networking sites. But for the boys, they're more likely to experience cyberbullying via phone calls or when they are gaming. So again, parents should know, if depending on the gender of your child, these are the areas that you really need to look out for. It's also probably good for the child, a parent, to actually set parental control on your child's computers and communication device. We also often encourage parents to follow their child on their Instagram accounts to find out what's happening. For instance, we do know that if a child suddenly becomes very withdrawn from the IG account, something probably happened and it's time to start a conversation with the child on what's happening. And usually from there, you can get a lot of information from the child's perspective of how he or she is actually interacting with people or how people are treating them on the social sphere.
Okay, many thanks for sharing your thoughts with us this evening on this topic. And Hui Peng, Group Leader for Children Development and Singapore at the Singapore Children's Society.